Hi Noon. Today I'm going to do a quick tutorial on how to make bean bags with applique letters on them. And the first thing I'm going to do is I have all this fabric and I'm going to cut them into 5 by 5 inch squares. Okay, not a professional, this is just my own made up method and I am sure that there's easier ways. If you know them, send them my way. But here's how I am making my 5-inch squares. I'm basically taking the fabric and every 5 inches over, I am making a mark with my pencil above the line and below the line. And then I just kind of move down a little bit farther. And again, a little bit above and a little bit below. And that way, I will eventually cut those out, and that's how I get my 5 by 5 squares. Okay, for this section, what you're going to want to do is trace around your letters. You can either print these out, whatever. I have these little cardboard cutouts, and what I do is I just trace it with a pencil, and then I'm going to go over it with a Sharpie. I also have a product that is called Wonder Under, and there's several of these products that looks just like this, and on one side it has little glue dots, and on this side it's just like paper. And it makes the applique process of putting one piece of fabric on top of another piece of fabric really simple, because when you iron it on, the little glue dots melt, and that's what sticks your fabric on. So we're going to trace these first. I then lay all my letters out, and I'm going to use more than this, but this is just an example. And then this way I use as much of the paper as possible without wasting any. So I just cut around the letters exactly where I need to where it looks like this. And that will be for that letter. All products are different, so you're going to want to make sure that you read your directions. But for mine, I'm going to take the bumpy glue side and I'm going to put it face down on the wrong side of my fabric. Then my directions say to use a dry iron and iron for 5 to 7 seconds. I'm just going to press that down. And then what I like to do is just kind of check by seeing if it comes up at the corner. Well, mine doesn't. So, ow. And it's hot. So I think that that's good. And I'm going to continue with my other letters. Okay, here I really wasn't thinking, and I ruined part of my my letter because I overlapped it over the A over there. Why did I do that? I don't know. But so I'm going to have to, once you put it down, this has never happened before, but it took all the sticky off. So I need to go make another H, and now from here to here, my fabric is ruined. So be really careful where you place. It was already hot because I had been ironing, and so that's what happens. Simply cut your letters out with scissors directly into the fabric, and I've already done a couple here. The fabric and the paper is on this side, and here in a minute we're going to peel that off. And it's going to show all that glue has melted now onto our fabric so that it will simply melt onto the other piece. Okay, now that I have all my letters cut out, I'm going to start to peel the backing off, the paper off of the fabric. And sometimes it's a little tricky to get started, and so I just rip it, and it only rips the paper, it doesn't rip the fabric. So go ahead and do that. Your glue is going to be on here. It's just going to feel a little bit slick. Okay. Now take your fabric and line the fabric that you want to applique, line it right up on the right side of your fabric, glue side down, and find right where you want to put it. I would have gotten a manicure had I known my hands were going to be all over this, but anyways, my directions say to use a damp cloth and to just kind of press it on there and get it a little bit damp, and then I'm going to iron it. Iron using a dry iron and move it around quite a bit to make sure you get it all hot, and once you're done it shouldn't come up. Okay, I'm a little sad about the R because however it laid on there, it got wrinkled when I ironed it, and it's kind of on there. Because this is for a baby, I am going to go ahead and sew around. I think this would stay on, but just to be sure in case, you know, the baby makes a mess and needs to wash it or something, I'm going to go ahead and sew just a border. So maybe we can cover that up there. Oops. Okay, right now I am just going around the borders of the letters so that they stay on there, since they are going to be a toy. And this is, like I said, I'm really not a professional. I've got mistakes. They're homemade. Here's that mess up on the R earlier. I think it kind of hides it pretty good. So I'm just going around and I'm using just a cute, fun little stitch to just secure the letter just a little bit more. Okay, now what you're going to do is take the two right sides of your project and put them together so that the wrong sides are showing. This is where you're going to put it into your machine. Line up where you would like it to go and just do a quick, simple stitch along the border. Okay, now that I've sewed around all of the squares, I'm almost finished. I just need to fill up my bean bags with my beans, and then I'm going to go back and hand sew the little holes closed. Just a tip, I would not get these too small because it makes putting the beans in very difficult and tedious. So leave a good space and you can go back and sew it and it will be fine.